Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon tungkol sa IO psychology. I want to answer a very important question dito sa field na to. How to be intrinsically motivated in the workplace. Pero bago natin sagutin yan, let me just read a passage from God's Word. Ang sabi dito, who is referring to Jesus, though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, but emptied himself, taking the form of a slave, being born in human likeness. And being found in human form, he humbled himself. Let me repeat that. He humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. So itong passage na to, later on as we go along, may kinalaman yan sa how to be intrinsically motivated in the workplace. Now, the key article where I base these things I'm gonna say here is based on this article. Pwede nyong i-Google Scholar, download nyo, and then basahin ninyo. At marami din ako masasabi dito. It's based on a chapter from the Michael Amo textbook on IO psychology. Specifically, chapter 9 yan. Yung mga estudyante ko dito, shout out, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, basahin nyo tong chapter na to on employee motivation. Okay? So, going back to our title, meron tayong question form na title, How to be intrinsically motivated in the workplace. I want to emphasize on those words, intrinsically motivated. From the word intrinsic motivation. Ngayon, yung intrinsic motivation, diniscuss ko na yan from my previous lectures. Ito yung lecture where I discuss specifically anong ibig sabihin ng intrinsic motivation. I highly encourage panoorin nyo to para magets nyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng motivation, anong ibig sabihin ng intrinsic motivation, anong kinalaman niyan or anong pinagkaiba niyan sa extrinsic motivation. Pero, daanan ko na lang din ng mabilis, no? So, this motivation we are talking about here is based on a theory by Ryan and Deci, Intrinsic and Extrinsic Motivation Theory. So, sabi ng theory na to, ang mga tao, the reason why we do certain things in life, bakit ka nagtatrabaho? Bakit ka nag-aaral? Bakit ka nagbabasketball? Bakit ka nanliligaw? Bakit daw? Because we are motivated by certain psychological things. So, ang tao, imposibleng gumagawa ng isang bagay kasi wala lang. We are motivated by something. That's the reason why we do certain things. And based on this theory, dalawang klase daw yan. Pwedeng you are motivated intrinsically or extrinsically. Ginagawa mo ang isang bagay kasi blank. Bakit ka nag-aaral? Bakit ka naglalaro ng basketball? Bakit ka naglalaba ngayong weekend? Sagot, either you are intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated. Now, according to Ryan and Deci, kailangan nating ingatan tong theory nila, no, na huwag nating i-consider yung intrinsic and intrinsic motivation as categories. We should not categorize people according to whether they are intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated kasi daw lahat tayo a little bit of both. Meron tayong pagka-intrinsically motivated, meron tayong pagka-extrinsically motivated. So rather than tignan natin to in category, ang sabi ni Ryan and Deci, dapat daw spectrum ang tingin natin between these two extremes. So in the first extreme, extrinsically motivated, in the other extreme, intrinsically motivated. At lahat tayo, we are somewhere in between those two extremes. It's just that yung iba sa atin mas matimbang on one motivation over the other. Some people are more extrinsically motivated than intrinsic. Some people are more intrinsically motivated than extrinsic. Gets nyo? So, yan yung ibig sabihin ng spectrum model of their theory. Now, the thing is, in connection to this model, no, a very good question to ask is, ano ang mas sustainable, ano ang mas nag-generate ng positive outcomes? People who are more intrinsically motivated or people who are more extrinsically motivated? Now, this is not a trick question. Kasi karamihan kapag ganyan yung mga tanong, sasabihin lagi both, right? Pero ito may tamang sagot talaga dito. Ano ang mas sustainable? Ano yung mas maganda na motivation ng tao? Whenever he or she does certain things, ang sagot ng literature dyan is intrinsically motivated. People are more likely to be more committed, mas engaged sila sa mga trabaho nila, mas persistent, mas magaling sila sa mga trabaho nila kapag nangingibabaw kapag mas matimbang yung intrinsic motivation than extrinsic motivation. Wala na lang tayong enough time but there are many studies that support that. Na talagang mas maganda, mas sustainable, mas lumalabas yung mga ganitong outcomes that are very positive when someone is more intrinsically motivated than extrinsically motivated. Ito yung mga empleyado na nagiging best employee. Ito yung mga empleyado na lagi silang employee of the month. Why are they performing so well? Why are they nominated to be employees of the year? Most likely, malamang sa malamang kasi intrinsically motivated sila than extrinsically motivated. Gets nyo? Kaya maganda talaga, mas maganda na kapag nagtatrabaho ka, meron kang mga ginagawang mga bagay that will increase your intrinsic motivation. Hindi ko sinasabing masama yung extrinsic motivation, okay din yan. Okay din yung tinitignan mo yung sweldo mo, okay din yung tinitignan mo yung promotion mo, okay din yung na-enjoy mo yung mga perks mo at work. Libre lunch mo, may bigas ka, okay yon. Pero dapat hindi yun yung number one reason why you are working. Your number one reason why you are working must be something intrinsic in nature. Again, baka nalimutan nyo na ano yung mga intrinsic reasons for doing something. Balik natin, yan. Ginagawa mo yung isang bagay, naglalaba ka, naglalaro ka ng basketball, nag-aaral ka kasi because of the following reasons. Kapag yan daw yung nagpapamotivate sa'yo, kapag ito yung fuel mo in doing something, most likely, according to studies, you end up being like this. Mas mataas ang commitment mo, mas maganda ang quality na ginagawa mo, so on and so forth. Now, given this, ano yung mga applications na pwede natin gawin? If intrinsic motivation is way better than extrinsic motivation, I have 3 applications here. Number 1, sa perspective ng human resources, specifically recruitment, kung HR staff ka, ikaw yung assigned sa pagre-recruit ng mga future employees in your organization, it makes more sense to hire more intrinsically motivated employees. Mangolekta ka ng mga aplikante na kaya nila gustong magtrabaho in your workplace kasi intrinsically motivated sila to do that. And there are 2 ways how to do that. Siyempre, pwede kang gumamit ng mga standardized tests. Merong mga tests out there that are constructed, that are designed para malaman mo kung yung isang tao mas mataas ba o mas malakas ba yung intrinsic motivation niya than extrinsic motivation. One example of that scale would be this one, the motivation at work scale. By giving an applicant this scale, malalaman mo if this person is more intrinsically or extrinsically motivated. Siyempre, kunin mo yung mga empleyado na mas mataas ang intrinsic motivation. I mean, can you imagine kung in-apply mo yan, tapos nangolekta ka ng mga tao in your organization that are intrinsically motivated? That's the ideal organization to be in. Lahat ng empleyado doon intrinsically motivated, so lahat sila halos ganyan. Ano ibig sabihin yan? It's just a matter of time bago ka maging organization of the year. Kaya ang isang organization laging pasok sa top 10 most efficient organizations. Bakit? Marami silang mga empleyado ganito. Highly intrinsically motivated. Alright? So, pwede mong sukatin yan through standardized tests. Again, pwede mong gamitin tong tool na to to determine if a person or if an applicant is highly intrinsically motivated. Another way para malaman mo kung intrinsically motivated ba yung aplikante is through interview. So, ang magic question dyan, kapag i-interviewin mo na siya, ano ang pinakamabigat mong reason bakit mo gusto magtrabaho dito? That's a good question. And then you listen to the response, and then based on that person's response, i-profile mo kung yung response niya falls under intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation. Siyempre, kapag ang sinagot niya under ng intrinsic motivation, mas malakas ang pogi points na kukunin mo to in your organization to be a future employee. Kasi yun nga yung goal mo eh. Mangolekta ka ng mga empleyado that are highly intrinsically motivated. Yan. So, ang ano lang dito, no, ang tamang sagot dito, quote-unquote tamang sagot, is when you hear the applicant say na kaya niya gusto magtrabaho sa company mo kasi mahal niya yung kumpanya mo. Gusto ko pong magtrabaho dito kasi maliit pa lang ako, idol ko na yung company nyo. Dream company ko na yan. Talagang gusto kong magtrabaho dito. Mahal na mahal ko yung organization nyo kasi yung vision and mission nyo is in line with my vision and mission, things like that. Kapag ganun yung sagot nila, most likely, intrinsically motivated yung taong yan. Mas maganda yan yung mga kunin yung mga aplikante. Alright? Number 2, another way to increase your intrinsic motivation in the workplace is to find your passion/calling. Ito, hindi na to perspective ng HR. This is in the perspective of the employee, especially future employees. Kaya very related dito sa number 2, yung mga estudyante pa lang ngayon, yung mga wala pa lang trabaho, yung mga naghahanap pa lang ng trabaho, this number 2 applies to you, so I hope you listen well. So, paano ka maging intrinsically motivated sa trabaho? Hanapin mo yung passion o yung calling mo. I remember one of the quotable quotes by Steve Jobs nung sinabi niya to sa isang speech niya, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Based on this quote, pwede ka makabuo ng conceptual framework, love leads to great work. Bakit ang isang work nagiging great? Bakit siya magaling mag-basketball? Bakit siya magaling mag-painting? Bakit ang galing-galing niyang magturo? Bakit ang galing-galing niyang mag-accounting? Anong sagot? Because great people who do great work, they do their work out of love for what they do. Yun yung tinatawag mong passion o yung calling mo sa buhay. Kaya kung gusto mo maging intrinsically motivated in the workplace in the future, that's your starting point. Hanapin mo yung field na talagang ginawa ka para doon. Hanapin mo yung field na yung puso mo nandoon. Talagang gustong-gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Now, I know many of you will ask me this question, but how can I know kung anong field yon? Especially sa mga high school students or even college students, marami sa kanila, hindi pa nila alam kung ano yung field na yon, kung ano yung calling nila. One clue that I want to teach here is answer this question. What are you willing to do for others for free? Anong service to others na kapag nalaman mong hindi ka babayaran by doing that, okay lang sa'yo? Take note ha, dapat serving others ha. Huwag mong sabihin na baka sagot mo dito kumain ng samgyup all year round. Hindi yon. Dapat yung task dito has something to do with serving other people. What is that serving other people na kahit alam mong hindi ka babayaran, alam mong mag-e-enjoy kang gawin yon, therefore, okay lang kahit hindi ka bayaran. Now, kapag nasagot mo yung question na yan, most likely, yan yung passion mo. Most likely, yan yung calling mo sa buhay. That's why it's very important, no, before you go to sleep tonight, sagutin nyo yung question na yan. What are you willing to do for others for free? Kahit hindi ka bayaran. I am so blessed. For example, in my case, alam ko yung sagot ko dito that is teaching. Let's say, Lasal calls me today and tells me, wala na silang pang sweldo sa akin. Ibig sabihin ba nun, I'm gonna stop teaching? No, itutuloy ko pa rin magturo sa Lasal kahit walang sweldo. Pero syempre, magiging realistic pa rin ako, maghahanap na ako ng ibang trabaho. Syempre, kailangan ko rin kumita, kailangan ko kumain, kailangan ko ng pang-grocery, kailangan ko ng pambayad ng Meralco. Right? And that's not bad. It's not bad to be extrinsically motivated. Meron din tayong needs that we have to supply ourselves. Pero, hindi ko iiwan yung teaching kasi ito yung passion ko Ito yung calling ko. God made me to be a teacher. So, kahit na hindi na ako masusweldohan ng Lasal, wala na akong extrinsic rewards through salary in Lasal, okay lang. Hahanap ako ng ibang trabaho, but I'm still gonna teach part-time in Lasal to share God's psychology to my students. Kasi yun talaga yung mission ko sa buhay, hindi ko pwedeng bitawan yun. Nagigets nyo? So, hanapin nyo yung ganun nyo. Na kapag ginawa mo para sa ibang tao, kahit walang bayad, gagawin mo pa rin. Most likely, yan yung passion mo, yan yung calling mo. I also highly recommend you can read this book by Rick Warren, The Purpose-Driven Life. Merong framework si Rick Warren dito called SHAPE. Kapag alam mo raw yung shape mo, spiritual gifts, heart, abilities, personality, experiences, this will point you kung ano ang passion or calling mo. It's a very good book. 40 days, 40 chapters, 1 chapter a day. At the end of the 40 days, most likely, you're gonna know kung anong shape mo, malalaman mo kung ano ang calling mo sa buhay. Yan. So, if you can get a copy of this book, I highly recommend you read this. Okay? And last one, number 3, how to be highly motivated in the workplace. Don't run after money. So for number 3, magka-career counseling tayo ng saglit. Especially for those of you na wala pa sa workforce, papasok pa lang kayo sa trabaho, sana makatulong tong tip ko sa inyo on how to be intrinsically motivated in the workplace. Don't run after money. Kapag naghahanap kayo ng trabaho in the future, nag-a-apply na kayo, ang una nyong starting point is, what's my gift? That's where you start. Ano ba ang tamang trabaho para sa'yo? Unahin mong isipin, dapat yung trabahong kukunin mo is in line, tugma, doon sa gift na binigay sa'yo ng creator mo. Many young people today, because of our materialistic society, hindi kasi ito yung starting point. Ang starting point nila yung sweldo. So pag naghahanap sila ng trabaho, lagi nilang first question, saan mataas ang sweldo? In English, follow where the money is. Hindi dapat ganun. The starting point of finding the work that you're gonna do almost for the rest of your life is kung ano ang gift mo. Ano ba yung mga talents, ano ba yung mga skills na binigay sa'yo ng creator mo. Kaya sinabi sa 1 Peter, di ba, I like this passage. As good stewards of the manifold grace of God, each of you should what? All together read, should use whatever gift he has received to serve one another. Based on that passage, makakabuo ka ng ganitong framework. Gift leads to the service or the work that you're gonna do. Got that? Your gift will determine where you will go. Yan dapat yung magiging ultimate guide mo para malaman mo kung anong kumpanya ka papasok, kung anong trabaho yung papasukin mo in the future. You start with your gift. You start with your calling. Actually, magkakakonect na yan eh. Your gift is connected to your calling. Your gift is connected to your passion. Alright? So, wag muna pera yung hahabulin nyo in the future kapag mag-a-apply na kayo. Maghanap kayo ng mga trabaho, maghanap kayo ng mga organizations na tugma sa gift na meron kayo. Now, ito yung play natin para maging intrinsically motivated ka at the same time successful ka in your future work. You start with the gift, with your calling, with your passion. And then what do? You prioritize growth, which is an intrinsic kind of motivation. So pagpasok mo sa isang organization, dapat ang una mong goal is matuto. You want to grow as a professional. Kung ano man yung pinasok mo, professional psychologist ka man, professional accountant, professional salesperson, whatever, when you enter an organization, yan ang una mong hinahanap dapat. You would like to learn more. You should be hungry for learning about your craft. Yan. So kapag yan yung goal mo, yan yung habol mo sa isang organization, intrinsically motivated ka to learn about your field. And eventually, habang tumataas yung growth mo, habang dumadama yung nalalaman mo, natitrainingan ka, nag-a-attend ka ng mga seminars, yung mga senior mo sa organization, mini-mentoran ka, absorb ka lang ng knowledge, tumataas yung value mo. Tumataas ngayon yung pera na deserve mong makuha. Ganyan ang tamang way on how to improve on your profession. It starts with something intrinsic. Gift, growth. Now, in contrast to this, let me just share a result coming from a DLSU tracer study wherein pinag-aralan ng researchers yung mga graduates ng De La Salle University. And one of the findings of that tracer study, when you ask organizational leaders, when you ask organizational owners about DLSU graduates, isa sa mga weaknesses ng DLSU graduates is, isa sa mga negative comments that they get is, they ask a lot. They ask very high levels of salary. Kahit na bago pa lang sila. Yun. Yan daw yung isa sa mga negative na comments sa mga employers in the industry. Marami mga estudyante nagdidemand ng high salary kahit very little pa lang yung training and experience nila. So, we can go something like this. Ganyan. Demand high salary, which is a very extrinsic type of motivation. Yan yung nagiging daan. Yan yung wini-weaponize ng mga Lasallian students according to that tracer study, in getting high levels or high amounts of salary. And I think this is based on a wrong assumption na that simply someone is from Lasal, dapat makakuha siya ng mas mataas na sweldo. Kaya paulit-ulit kong sinasabihan yung mga students ko dito. Don't have that assumption. Hindi porket galing ka sa Lasal, ibig sabihin, deserving mo ang higher salary. Ang advantage lang ng being a Lasallian, according to the Tracer study, is Lasallians, when they graduate, mas mabilis silang makahanap ng trabaho upon application. So for example, Lasalista ka tapos nag-apply ka sa mga organizations, in less than 2 months, merong kukuha sa'yo. Meron naman talagang truth, no, doon sa idea that Lasal graduates are in demand in the workplace. Okay? Yun lang yung advantage. Pero pagdating sa loob ng organization, you start somewhere in the organization, everyone is equal regardless of which school you came from. Kaya yung mga Lasalistang nakikinig sa akin, please lang, huwag kayong magkaroon ng ganyang assumption. Na porket Lasalista ka, porket yung school mo maganda, you deserve a higher salary. Everyone is equal. Pagpasok ng organization, the amount of money that you're gonna get, the value that the organization will give to you, patutunayan nyo yan. That's what you work for. Dapat ganyan ang tamang mentality. Got that? Now, for those of you na matitigas ang ulo, talagang paninindigan nyo yung extrinsic motivation nyo of a higher salary, later on in the future, pwedeng mag-backfire sa inyo yan. Okay? So, halimbawa, matigas ang ulo mo, talagang ayaw mo magsimula sa gift. Ayaw mo ng calling, ayaw mo ng passion, gusto mo mataas kagad yung sweldo, paano magbabackfire sa inyo yan? Next slide. Yan. Sabihin natin nag-demand ka ng higher salary and then pinagbigyan ka. Sige na nga, makulit tong batang to pagbigyan natin. Tignan ngayon natin kung anong kaya niyang gawin. Remember, higher salary means higher expectations. So baguhan ka pa lang, kakagraduate mo pa lang nung June, nag-apply ka sa isang organization, ang yabang-yabang mo doon, nag-demand ka ng high salary. Tapos pinagbigyan ka, ano ang kaakibat niyan? Ano ang kakambal niyan? Mataas ang expectation nila sa'yo. Baguhan ka pa lang, pero gusto mo i-handle yung regional. Yan, yung regional cluster. Gusto mo manager ka na kaagad. Ikaw yung mag-handle ng sales ng regional. O. Ngayon, if you're gonna be honest, in that situation na sinasabi ko, kakagraduate mo pa lang, wala ka pa masyadong training, hinahandle mo na regional. Do you think more likely mamimit mo yung expectation or hindi? Ang sagot dyan, most likely, hindi mo mamimit yung expectation kasi kulang ka pa sa knowledge, kulang ka pa sa experience. Most likely, you're gonna fail to deliver. And that's bad record. Diba? Kasi ang yabang-yabang mo nung interview, sabi mo, gusto mo ganito kataas yung salary mo, nangako ka pa na ang kapalit nun, makaka-deliver ka, hindi ka naka-deliver. Kulang ka sa knowledge, kulang ka sa experience, sira ka na kagad sa organization. Pwede ka pang masira sa ibang organization because, the HR world is just so small. Nag-uusap-usap ang mga HR managers. Yung pangalan mo baka mabanggit sa mga pag-uusap nila. Na ikaw, yung isang empleyado na ang taas-taas mag-demand ng salary, wala namang ma-deliver. So, it will also affect your future employment in case iniwan mo na yung organization na pinagpalpakan mo. Are you getting my point? So, nag-backfire pa sa'yo. See? So, this is not the right way on how to increase your value. Anong mali mo dito? Nag-start ka kasi sa extrinsic So, what do? You start with intrinsic. And again, ulitin ko, one intrinsic factor. Why you do? What you do is out of gift, calling, and passion. Right? So, somebody hires you. An organization hires you to do something. Now, what do? You start low. Ito yung mahirap gawin. Dapat willing ka to start low. Start ka doon sa baba. Bakit? Prioritize mo muna yung growth. Maliit yung sweldo mo, okay lang yan. Kasi, ang goal mo is yung growth. Gusto mo munang matuto. Gusto mo muna ng experience. Gusto mo muna ng mentorship. Gusto mo muna ng knowledge, which are all intrinsic things. Yan yung mga bagay na dapat nagpapamotivate sa'yo araw-araw at that point of your career. And then, give it time. Magstay ka dyan ng 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Absorb ka lang ng absorb ng knowledge. And then, kapag marami ka ng natutunan, marami ka ng capabilities, marami ka ng skill set, that's the time you can demand for a higher salary. And most likely, pagbibigyan ka naman dyan Kasi nagtiis ka dito Diba? You started low. Makikita ng mga boss mo, yung ganyang attitude mo maganda, you are a quick learner, you are a willing learner, most likely, bibigyan ka ng higher salary. And then again, Ano yung rule natin? Higher salary means higher expectation. Kakambal ng higher salary is higher expectation. Now, be honest here. Do you think given this high expectation, are you more likely to hit this or not? Yung mataas na expectation na yan, sa tingin mo magiging successful ka or hindi? Most likely, magiging successful ka. Bakit? Kasi marami ka nang natutunan dito. Marami ka ng mga knowledge, marami ka ng mga tricks, marami ka ng mga wisdom, nuggets of wisdom na pwede mong gamitin para maging successful ka in meeting that high expectation. So, mataas yung chance that you're gonna meet that high expectation, that you're gonna be successful. And when that happens, naging successful ka, naging maayos yung pag-handle mo sa regional sales, ikaw yung pinakamataas na region in terms of sales, ano mangyayari? That success will give you the license to further demand for a higher salary. Nagigets nyo? So magiging cycle na lang yan. May napatunayan ka na eh. Kaya pwede ka nang humingi ng higher. Tumaas na naman yung expectation, mamimit mo ulit yan. Kasi ang dami mo nang natutunan dito for 8 years. Kaya kahit anong expectation yung sineset nila sa inyo, most likely, nai-hit mo na. So, paulit-ulit na lang yan. Paulit-ulit na lang na success yan. Paulit-ulit na lang na demand ng higher salary yan. Na pagbibigyan ka kasi nga may napatunayan ka na, then you become successful in your field. See? Anong difference niyan compared to this one? In connection to our lesson today, anong difference? Dito, ang starting point mo, extrinsic motivation. Pera agad yung hinahanap mo. Something external to you. Mali. Ano ang tama? Dapat ang starting point mo is something intrinsic. You start with your gift, calling, and passion, and from there, you look for intrinsic things. Learning, experience, mentorship. See? When you start intrinsically, good things happen to you. In connection to this framework, no, kaya sa NBA, totoo rin yan eh. Karamihan ng mga players, they start low. Ganyan lang muna yung sweldo pag rookie year. And then as time goes by, they learn. They develop their skills. They strengthen their bodies. They listen to their coaches. And then the more they apply what they absorb, unti-unti, dumadami yung success na nararanasan nila. And those success that they experience, tumataas yung value nila. The more success that you experience, yan, mas tumataas yung value nila in terms of salary. Like si Stephen Curry. Bakit kaya yung sweldo niya habang tumatagal pataas ang pataas? Kasi he has taken this route. It all starts with his gift. And then he was willing to learn. Look for intrinsic things. And then habang nananalo siya ng mga iba't ibang mga awards, habang nananalo siya ng mga championships, yun ngayon yung nagpapataas ng value niya in the organization. Got that? It all starts with intrinsic motivation for you to be successful. O, kaya nga, going back to this framework, ang tricky part dito is, ito eh. Ito, alam mo na to. Alam mo na yung gift mo, alam mo na yung calling mo, alam mo na yung passion mo. Ito yung challenge. When somebody hires you in an organization, are you willing to start low? Are you willing to do the things that sometimes will insult you? Minsan may mga ganyang task eh. Iniinsulto mo ba ako? Nagstay ako 4 years in college para lang gawin to, para lang mag-xerox ng papel, para lang magtimpla ng kape, para lang mag-frequency count ng survey, questionnaires. You have to be able to be willing to do those quote-unquote small tasks. At para magawa mo yon, a very important psychological trait na kailangan meron ka for you to start low is what we call humility, which is a very important psychological trait. Wala na lang tayong enough time, no? Gagawa natin ng ibang lecture yan. But in the literature, kapag ang tao mataas ang humility, ang dami-dami mga positive psychological outcomes. That's why humility is even reinforced. It's even encouraged to be developed in God's Word. Sabi nga ni Solomon dito, a man's pride will bring him low. Pag mayabang ka, gusto mo pera agad, gusto mo bayaran ka ng malaki, you will not succeed. But a humble spirit will obtain honor. As you can see on the framework, exactly what happened. Humble ka kasi dito eh. Willing kang gawin yung small things. Willing kang gawin yung mga dirty things. Because you want to learn. You're not gonna learn if you don't do those things, right? So, yan. Humble ka, nagawa mo yan, natuto ka ng natuto dyan, that enabled you to meet those high expectations. Nagkaroon ka ng honor. Nagigets mo, kung mayabang ka, you started extrinsically, gusto mo pera agad, it won't work. Kaya nga binasa ko yung key passage natin kanina because this passage is about humility. God being the highest God, God Most High, siya na mismo yung nag-demo how humility should be done. Although He is God, He made Himself slave. O, ganun din in the workplace. Although magaling ka, alam naman natin yan, marami kang knowledge, in theory, marami kang alam, pero you are humble enough to learn more. Yan. Kaya nag-start ka dito. Kaya willing kang gawin to. Kaya willing kang mag-grow. Sa paniniwala mo, you need more growth. Ang mga taong mayayabang, hindi ganyan mag-isip eh. Ang mga taong mayayabang, they don't need growth because they're already great. Hindi dapat ganun. Baguhan ka pa lang, tanggapin mo yan, rookie ka pa lang, marami ka pang hindi alam, may gatas ka pa sa labi, apply your humility. Humble enough ka to learn things, to do dirty things in the organization. And as you learn, yun na, tumataas yung value mo. Yan yung application ng passage na yan. Diba? Kaya in the workplace, ang dapat tamang attitude is something like this. It all starts with, this life is not mine. Other than that, I have a gift given to me that I have to enrich. Meron akong gift that my Creator gave to me, kailangan ko itong pagyamanin. Right? And then that gift, I'm gonna use to serve others. And the reason why I serve others is because I want others to see God. Actually, baliktad yung araw ko dito. Dapat ganyan. Yan. Wait lang ayusin natin. Dapat ganyan. Ito pala yung next. Yan. And then ito yung endpoint. Yan. Wait lang Okay, so this life is not mine. I have a gift given to me that I have to enrich, and then I'm gonna use that gift to serve others. And as I do serve others, this is an opportunity that other people will see, will glorify the Creator who gave me this life in the first place. Pero para maisip mo yung mga ganyang ideas, ano ang foundation? Humility. That's a very important intrinsic trait na dapat lahat ng workers, lahat ng employees, ma-develop nila sa mga sarili nila. Alright? So, yan yung sagot natin doon sa tanong, how to be intrinsically motivated in the workplace. Reviewin natin, ano yung mga tips ko dyan. Numbers 1 to 3 are the following. Yan. Ito sa perspective ng HR, mangolekta ka ng mga highly intrinsically motivated na tao para yung organization mo laging mataas ang intrinsic motivation. Number 2, kung ikaw yung empleyado na papasok pa lang in an organization, find your passion, find your calling, and number 3, prioritize intrinsic things in the workplace, especially learning. Huwag pera agad. Alright? So yan, yung maikli nating lecture on intrinsic motivation. If you have any questions, comments, or topics na gusto nyo pag-usapan natin, gusto nyo mag-suggest, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Sir Howard here. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.